Hello. First off, thank you very much for looking at my resume and clicking on the link rayerden.com to see this video, to listen to my little recording. The purpose of this recording is primarily to be able to give a little more insight professionally about my background, my overall skills, training, experience, education, all those things combined, and to kind of give you a general idea about what I can do and whether I can be a good fit with the position that you're trying to fill or not. So anyone, in this case my audience, is a potential hiring manager and or a recruiters working with their clients, trying to helping them to fill out the positions that they are trying to hire for. So having said that, let me just kind of delve into what I'd like to tell you. Like I said, this is going to be a little more kind of like an extension of my resume, and also the information that I provided on my website. I try to be kind of detailed enough on my website to give an idea with examples and stuff, and explanations and narratives and stuff, to tell the potential hiring manager, about the skills that I have, experiences I have, accomplishments and projects that I worked on and completed in the past. So this video, excuse me, will be kind of like wrapping up, hopefully, on all those things, and it should be a little more detailed than elevator speech, so to speak, but not necessarily a kind of deep dive narrative. So let's start. My name is Ray Erden, and I've been working in the data analyses or data analytics space for the past 20 plus years, actually overall 25 years, but 20 years of it I offer a solid experience in that field. The data analysis field is a very large, encompassing area within the huge world of course, IT. And I try to kind of carve myself a niche in the data analytics area. And I've been specifically, for the most part, serving the needs of the managers and executives, whether finance executives, product managers, marketing executives, process owners, anyone who needed to have for their daily monitoring and decision-making processes, to manage their businesses, to manage their departments, and to see their performance. I was trying to serve their data needs. They needed reports, daily reports, weekly or monthly reports, various kinds of ways to track their progress, to see where they're at any given time. So I basically had a lot of different opportunities to work with these kinds of people, to help them reach their goals, to help them monitor their business, professional activities, business activities, and anything related to that, kind of in general way of saying that. So I want to give you a few more examples. Of course, I will get to that too, but first thing I would like to say, my experience. Let's start with my education first, and then delve into what I've been doing. I started my education back in my home country. I'm originally from Turkey, and I came to this country about 33 years ago from Turkey. And I had my mathematics degree there, and then a few years after, excuse me, I came to this country, and my intent was obtaining a business degree, which I did. I completed that degree program in Kansas. I went to Wichita State University in Kansas and continued my graduate work in economics. And I completed that also in 1996, economics degree. And short after that, I got married in Kansas and we moved to Minnesota. So basically, right now, we've been living in Minnesota about 25 years. So after my completed my education, my formal education, and I started working as a financial analyst, credit analyst in those realms, And then over time, I kind of realized that what was making me more interested, kind of more attractive to me, was working actually with data. And gradually, every job kind of pushed me toward that data field more, deeper and deeper into the data side, the data world. So as I kind of moved into this world, gradually more and more, and deeper, I had to learn more, train myself, had complete some certification programs, classes, self studies, and also obviously the best way of learning is on hands-on at work. So that's what I've been doing. To kind of this is kind of my educational or formal education and experience kind of background. As far as the kind of companies that I worked at and what kind of projects I worked at, I like to mention that pretty much my work history, work portfolio is made out of Fortune 100 types of companies. Those are, as you see on my resume, Wells Fargo, United Health Group, U.S. Bank, BASF, National Car Rental. There is one federal agency, Minnesota House of Finance Agency. Mostly those kinds of companies. So again, the one common denominator among those companies was the fact that I've been always working with data for various different purposes, whether it's an operational tracking, whether it's a kind of a executive reporting, business intelligence types of reporting, what have you. But that was data always. Databases, data models, data structures have been always the common denominator. The types of projects or the tools that I've been working with, that I've been involved with, I did a lot of work with Microsoft Excel and Access. I did a lot of custom development and custom tools and design and process to support the processes, reporting processes for any kind of purposes, whether it's a quality control, performance monitoring, business intelligence types of reports, support and dashboards. All these types of reports, all these types of work environments, I use Excel and Access excessively. In addition to those, I'm sorry. In addition to those tools, I had a chance to work with large databases a lot too. I worked with SQL Server. I worked with Oracle. One little differentiation here is the fact that I did not work at DBA capacity or ETL developer capacity with those tools. But nevertheless, I had to interact with those databases, large databases at the back end. And the way I was working with them was either I was setting up, let's say, a kind of front-end database in Access, and then connecting into back-end Oracle database or SQL database, and then running my queries to be able to update the reports, to be able to provide information. So, or I had some opportunities to work directly with like Teradata for quality, UAT testing with Teradata database. That was primarily working with a lot of SQL scripting. Working within the SQL Server environment using ISSR. Did I say it right? I'm sorry. SSIS. That we were keeping the SQL scripts that we were testing, running, and deploying to update the tables in Oracle. So in addition to those things, I also participated in various projects, data quality related projects, data mapping, data profiling, all kinds of data analysis. So I would say all over the world as far as the data analytics and data analyses goes. So this is kind of in a nutshell describing what I do, and that's why on my resume you're seeing the title data analyst, senior data analyst, and BI analyst or BI analytics. Same thing that on my website, because those titles, in my opinion, describe my skill set best. I obviously, as you know, there are lots of different titles in this realm of work, such as business systems analyst, developer systems analyst, data analyst, several different titles. But among those, I would say the ones that you're looking at on my resume are the best describing titles. That's at least what I think. So that is, again, kind of description of what my skill set are and experience level. Again, it is, I would say, solid 20 years of my past, my past experience. I've been involved with these kinds of projects and assignments and tasks. As far as the work style, I pretty much half and half. I did work as as a contractor in this world, and also FTE. So it's pretty much 50-50. Almost half of my, I think, professional history, I worked as FTE, and the other half contractor. I'm not too particular about, I'm open to both. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm kind of impartial. I mean, the reason why I have so many contract opportunities, contract jobs I had, is basically it's a numbers game. People, contact me, and 80% of those people who contact me for any kind of assignment, role, job, they happen to be contract type of roles. So it's not like, I'm against any kind of an FTE role, which I had, as you can see on my resume. So it's a numbers game. 80% of those coming my way, that, being a contractor. So I think the chances are being a little higher to end up with a contract job. But overall, I'm equally open to both. Typically my contracts have been around, like this one here at Wells Fargo, currently at the Wells Fargo Technology, working in the data resiliency team. This is actually a longer term contract. So it will be going through the end of this year. This is 2021, and will continue the next year. If one asks me why is it that I am looking for change, one reason would be the 100% remote I've been working, and it looks like they're calling people back to office, and I'm not too excited about it. So that is why. That's the reason why. Otherwise, I like people here a lot. I have a great work environment. We work in an agile environment, collaborate constantly on a daily basis. Daily Scrum stand calls, other calls. We had a very good way of working with people, and especially what I appreciate here is the team overall. Everybody in the separate teams we have, and everybody is really utterly experienced, very high caliber, high quality professionals. And in that environment, obviously helps me to grow, to learn more. And this is an awesome opportunity. But again, this is the specific reason the going back to office is kind of making me looking around again and keeping an eye on the market, what's going on in the market. So having said that, I'm trying to think, what else I can add. I just want to kind of give a couple of examples of my projects or skill set, kind of to describe what I can do. This job is rather different because I'm not really. My role is I'm a strategist. Our team is a strategy team, so we're not really working directly with any kind of tool, whether it's an Oracle database, SQL scripting, SQL Server. I'm not building any custom tools in Excel, or I'm not doing any of those things. We are not doing any of those things. I mean, as a team, we have actually, our team is comprised of Oracle DBA, SQL Server DBA, and myself, and we're interacting on a daily basis with a lot of individuals, a lot of different teams, application teams, application owners, business side of the business owners, application developers, the DBAs, all these people that we have to interact on a daily basis, because our goal is to ensure that those applications that are not satisfying with the recovery time that was that was basically defined by the industry regulators. In case of any kind of data corruption, in case of any kind of disaster hits, for instance, the applications need to be recovered within less than 4 hours. Therefore, it ensures the business continuity. So this is part of the business continuity project. So in this environment, our role is we interact with all these teams, different people, and try to understand if the, for instance, database is taking a lot longer than a certain amount of time, what makes it so, and trying to understand those, and what can be done to reduce that time, or is there any other way to help the application to be available to the users, to the end users, while they're working on trying to fix or recover the lost data or corrupted data, or any that would cause that would be caused by anything. That would be hard disk issues, any kind of database failures, server failures, physical things, maybe hacker attack, anything is possible. So we're basically approaching the problems from the strategy perspective, more like a kind of auditing, trying to understand those systems in place and their status as far as recovery requirements, and then trying to help them work with people, come up with a solution together, working with them together. So that is, in a way, it's rather different than most other jobs that I had, because most other jobs I had to be working directly with something like some tool that's, like I said, in Excel and Access, Oracle, SQL Server, SQL, scripting, whatever you. So that's why this is different. Again, that was one example. I want to give another example from BASF. BASF, as you know, the large the German chemical company. I was working for one of their companies located in Minnesota. It is Construction Chemicals Company, which is not anymore part of BASF. BASF sold them. That was the reason why I was out of there, because BASF, the parent company in Germany, decided to drop it for some reason, business as usual. So my role there was I was directly responsible with preparing a reporting system that was supposedly helping the salespeople in the field, sales executive, marketing executive, financial executive, and operational executive. So the idea was, the way I created was sales regional managers or district managers, they were able to go ahead and on the network pull my tool and then pick and choose anything that they like to see. It wasn't static. They could pick and choose any status by any status by any status. What did I sell this week, this month, in this region, in that region, product mix, those kinds of things. On the other hand, marketing executive have different reporting needs. Financial executive had different reporting needs. So I was all interacting with all those people. In this environment, one of the key skills is, in addition to obviously the core skills of technology and being able to provide, such processes, to be able to interact with these people, the business people, whether it's a finance person, whether it's a marketing person, sales department, heading the sales department, or basically being able to talk in their language. So I briefly describe my skills as I can talk the language of data in business, or I can talk the language of business in data. I'm a good mixture. I got a good strength. This is my strength. The good combination of both sides, the business side and the data side. So I think this is my particular strength. So that's what I was doing there at BASF. I want to get back to another example. United Health Group. I was there. I was an FTE close to 5 years, and my role was I was supporting the business intelligence reporting system, and our main audience was the CFO of Optum Healthcare Solutions under United Health Group, and VP of Finance, and also those were the immediate users, and also the product managers, other product managers. So my role was extensively and exclusively involved with working with data, preparing the data, structures, processes, and systems that eventually what we were producing on a monthly basis, business intelligence type of reports. Partially they were in Excel, partially on Tableau. Sometimes different, I think, tools we use, but primarily Excel and Tableau. By the way, at BASF, for similar things, I was using Excel and Power BI. So the kind of mixture of those tools. I did that again, close to 5 years. It was pretty extensive because we were touching everything in the organization to be able to give answers, the status, to our executives, primarily financial executives. So those two examples, actual 3 examples, what the current one, Wells Fargo, BASF, and United Health Group, Optum Healthcare Solutions. Currently, it is known as Optum. They had a name change. Since then, I was out of there middle of 2012. Again, that was another organizational directional changes that the Care Solutions was going through then. Business as usual. So, yeah, those 3 are the examples that I can provide to kind of give you an idea, and hopefully my description about my background and my summary about my background overall package helps you to kind of evaluate my skills, and helping you, the manager, hiring manager, or the recruiter who is closely working with that hiring manager and trying to bring him or her a good candidate. It helps to kind of categorize, understand, and evaluate, or more like, kind of see that if there is a sufficient amount of match with what I just described, and what my resume says or what my website says. Is my website is basically kind of focusing on if they have time to look at, a little more examples, a little more detail, of course. But I'm hoping that with this recording, with this video, in conjunction with my resume, it gives sufficient amount of information to the hiring manager. So if there is, it can tell clearly that, hey, this guy is really not a good match for what you're looking for, or I'm a close match, and it's worth for you to, activate the process and start the contact and start the conversation. So that's what, basically what my intent is. I provided that to basically actually helping the hiring manager saving time, and then seeing that, hey, it's worth time to talk with this guy. That's what my intent is. So I appreciate your time for, again, looking at my resume, clicking on that link, and watching this video. And if there is a sufficient match, I hope, someday we can talk over the phone or in person. Thank you, and have a great day.